Okay, so we're diving into some fascinating stuff today, stuff that I know a lot of you have been asking about. Ancient Indian texts, right? There's this whole world of knowledge in there, and we're going to try to unpack 10 really groundbreaking concepts,
Yeah.
things that still kind of blow your mind, even from a modern scientific perspective.
It is amazing the depth and breadth of these texts. We're talking about everything from philosophy and ritual to astronomy, medicine, math, even epics and Vedic hymns. These ancient thinkers were really wrestling with some big fundamental questions, a lot of which modern science is still grappling with today.
Yeah, it's like they were way ahead of their time, right?
Oh,
So let's start with something small. I mean, really, really small. Have you ever heard of Anu?
Oh, absolutely. That's a core concept from the Vaisheshika school of philosophy attributed to Canada.
Right, Canada. And this Anu, it's like their idea of the most fundamental, indivisible particle, the building block of all matter. Pretty wild to think they were pondering this stuff thousands of years ago without, microscopes or particle accelerators.
It really is. And what's fascinating is that they arrived at this concept through a completely different path than modern science. They were looking at the world through the lens of philosophy, logic, and categorization, trying to understand the essential nature of reality.
So different approach, but kind of arriving at a similar idea that there's this basic, fundamental unit of stuff, right?
Exactly. It speaks to a deep human curiosity about the nature of reality, a curiosity that transcends time and culture.
It does. And it's not just about these tiny particles. They were also exploring the universe on a much grander scale. Speaking of which, let's talk about the Solva Sutras.
Ah, yes, the Solva Sutras.
So these are these ritual texts, right? Like guidelines for building altars and conducting ceremonies, but they're full of geometry. And I mean, really sophisticated geometry.
You're right, it's quite remarkable. They were essentially codifying geometrical principles, and some of these principles predate similar discoveries in other cultures.
It's like they had an early version of the Pythagorean theorem, right? And even hints of understanding irrational numbers. And it wasn't just theory. They were actually using this stuff to construct these incredibly precise structures.
Exactly. And you have to remember, this was all happening without the modern mathematical tools we take for granted today. They were observing, experimenting, and developing practical solutions that had these profound mathematical implications.
It's mind-blowing. Okay, so from the precision of geometry to the vastness of space,
Yeah.
let's talk about the Surya Siddhanta.
Now we're talking astronomy.
Yeah, the Surya Siddhanta, an ancient Indian astronomical treatise. And this thing is packed with insights about planetary motion, the Earth being spherical, even methods for predicting eclipses that were surprisingly accurate. Some scholars even argue that there are hints of a heliocentric understanding in there.
Their astronomical knowledge is truly impressive. They were making these detailed observations with the naked eye, meticulously tracking the movements of celestial bodies, and developing complex models to explain what they saw.
And getting it right to a pretty incredible degree. It makes you wonder what else they might have figured out if they had, telescopes and all that.
Absolutely. But even without those tools, their achievements in astronomy are a testament to their powers of observation, their mathematical skills, and their deep curiosity about the cosmos.
Okay, so from the cosmos to, well, something a little more down to earth. You ready to talk about the Sushruta Samhita?
You mean the ancient surgical text? Absolutely. It's one of the foundational texts of Ayurveda.
Right, Ayurveda. So the Sushruta Samhita, it lays out all these surgical techniques. And I mean, we're talking complex procedures here, like reconstructive surgery and even cataract surgery.
It really is remarkable the level of detail and precision in those descriptions. It speaks to a deep understanding of human anatomy and a remarkable level of surgical skill.
Right. Like they were performing these intricate surgeries. And this was, what, centuries ago? It's hard to even imagine what that must have been like.
It is. It challenges our assumptions about the history of medicine and surgery. It's a testament to the ingenuity and skill of those ancient practitioners.
It really is. Okay, and speaking of Ayurveda, we're going to talk about the doshas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vata, Pitta, Kapha.
Oh, absolutely. The doshas are fundamental to Ayurvedic understanding.
Right, so the idea is that these three doshas, these energies, they govern our health, and keeping them in balance is key to well-being. It feels so modern, this focus on holistic health and balance.
It does resonate with contemporary ideas, doesn't it? This understanding that our physical and mental states are interconnected and that maintaining equilibrium is crucial for health.
Absolutely. It's like this ancient wisdom is still so relevant today. Okay, ready for something that's absolutely fundamental to our modern world?
Let's hear it.
Zero. The concept of zero.
Ah, yes. A game changer, truly.
It seems so simple, so obvious now, right?
Yeah.
But it was a revolutionary idea. And we have ancient Indian mathematicians to thank for formalizing it.
Absolutely. Texts like the Bakshali manuscript and the works of Vata clearly demonstrate their understanding of zero and the decimal system. This wasn't just a philosophical concept for them, it was a practical tool for calculation, for understanding place value, for doing math in a whole new way.
And it paved the way for so much. I mean, imagine computers without the concept of zero.
It's unimaginable. It really was a foundational breakthrough, a testament to their mathematical ingenuity, and it fundamentally shaped the way we understand numbers and the world around us.
Okay, so we talked about the really small, the Anu. Now let's go big again, like cosmically big. The Puranas and the Mahabharata, they have these descriptions of vast cycles of time, of creation, preservation, and dissolution happening over and over again.
The concept of cyclical time, yes, it's a recurring theme in ancient Indian thought, and it's fascinating how it intersects with some modern cosmological theories.
Right, like there are these theories about cyclic universes, the idea that the universe expands and contracts, kind of like a cosmic heartbeat. It's amazing to think that these ancient myths might be echoing some very real aspects of the universe's evolution.
It is. It makes you wonder about the relationship between human intuition, myth-making, and scientific discovery. Perhaps there are insights embedded in these ancient narratives that we're only just beginning to rediscover.
Right, it's like they were tapping into something profound. Okay, and before we wrap up, we got to talk about something pretty basic but super important. Water.
Water, yes, the essence of life.
Exactly. And it turns out that even in ancient Vedic texts like the Rig Veda and the Atharva Veda, they had a pretty good understanding of the water cycle. Evaporation, condensation, rainfall, the whole thing.
They were keen observers of the natural world, and their understanding of the water cycle demonstrates their grasp of these interconnected processes that are essential for life on Earth.
Right. It's like they understood that water is this precious resource, this lifeblood of the planet, long before we started talking about things like, climate change and water conservation.
Precisely. And that awareness, that deep connection to the natural world is something that we can learn from today.
Absolutely. Okay, so there you have it. 10 mind-blowing concepts from ancient Indian texts, ideas that were ahead of their time and still resonate with us today.
It's an incredible legacy of knowledge and insight, and it leaves us with this question. What other wisdom might be hidden within these texts, waiting to be rediscovered and applied to the challenges of our modern world?
Something to think about for sure.
Indeed.